broken something.
This week we're heading back into the Bungal State Forest for a little bit of fun. We're actually going in tonight to do some camping and some other activities that I enjoy. Coming along tonight, we've got Tim and Nikki from Landcruiser. And then joining us in the morning, we've got Steve from Darchi and Brian and Jackie from 360. We've got a big day of four-wheel driving planned for tomorrow. So let's get down to the campsite, get set up for a big night and an even bigger day off-road. Today I'm towing the Tanami X11. It's the smallest of the Austrac campers hybrid range, and it's a tidy little unit for off-roading, caravanning and camping. Now it's one of the units that again packs a serious punch, and some of the places we're going today you wouldn't want to take a normal caravan, and this is why you go for an off-road hybrid van, just for those slightly tougher trails. Now being set up with off-road suspension is exactly what you need when you come out to these locations. We've already been through a couple of sections with ruts. We've tackled a little bit of mud, and the Tanami X11 has handled it all with ease.
We're camping at the end of River Track with a stack of space to open up the Tanami X11 and its king-size bed. It takes just a few minutes, leaving plenty of time to unpack, roll out and set up the swags, along with the Austrac kitchen, just in time for our first guest to arrive.
We decided to get here before the rest of the guys and get in here, check the place out. I always like to get out and scope out the tracks before the competition arrives. So we did, we came out first and got to camp out here for the night.
One of the things that I like to do when I'm off-road from time to time is a little bit of shooting. This here is the Warwick WFA1. It's a straight pull bolt action firearm and completely made right here in Australia. I'm running a Nightforce NX8 scope, one of the top brands in the world. So let's load this baby up and crack up a few rounds and see how she goes.
The weather cooled down a bit so it wasn't as hot. Great night to get out, get down to the stars and start the year off with a good camping trip.
We got here this morning, met up with Brian and Jackie from 360 Gearboxes on the way out here. Trundled into camp, and as luck would have it, we got here right on breakfast.
Simon was cooking maple bacon pancakes, all kitted out in his awesome Austrac camper.
And he even brought the maple syrup along.
And sensational way to start the day. We cleaned up camp, jumped in the cars.
The first track was right here on our doorstep, so as soon as we turn the car on and put it in gear, you're there ready to go.
All right, we're going to pull up here. You guys better come in and have a look at this.
A really steep entry, really steep exit, and of course a heap of slush at the bottom of it.
All right guys, let's have a crack at this one.
As usual, Simon went down first.
Front and rear diff locks on, get the nose down nice and careful. She's steep all right.
Whoa, jeez! I was always just a little bit scared.
Watching Simon disappear below the horizon, you couldn't actually see the top of the Iveco was just visible.
Pushing us across. Oh, traction.
There's no way we're going to make that.
Don't worry, you'll be right.
360 went through with the 79, and they've got lockers and it's really kitted up well. It's got a lot of height.
I was expecting to come down into it and then it fling me to the left-hand side as we went up.
Go, 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 go. We've got the power, we've got the power. Woohoo!
Most of the guys with mud tyres did a great job, drove straight in and straight out again.
Nice drive, guys, very well done. So start coming down nice and slow.
Fortunately, my Triton with road-going all-terrain tyres didn't fare quite as well.
Got down all right, went out the other side all right, but as he tried to climb out, he just couldn't get traction.
Hold there, hold there.
Simon came back with the Iveco and hooked up.
The guy's got a shackle on there, attached me to the winch on the back of Simon's Iveco. Got me winched out a bit, just enough, so that I could drive the rest of the track. The trike was able to find some grip and drive itself out of the rest of the track.
Then it was my turn. Just crawled through with the GU.
We all stop and look and and he just, right from the get-go, he just goes, doesn't stop, doesn't stop.
We sort of crab crawled our way out, which was a lot of fun and a good way to start the day.
That was so cool.
That was cool.
That was a bit exciting, Steve. You did really well in there.
Ah, thank you very much. Ably and expertly guided by yourself. But yeah, that was a fun track. You got more like that in store for us today?
We've got plenty more coming your way.
I heard we're going back through that in reverse.
You can have a crack at that later, but we've got a hill climb saved up for you later tonight, Tim.
Phew! We got out of that little short, sharp gully, went up and over the next ridge line, and the terrain just changed completely.
And this track was a nice long one.
Dropped down into a nice, sort of slightly larger gully, but a really steep entry in. Luckily that creek bed was relatively dry, and then went up what was quite literally a goat track. I didn't think we were going to get cars up there.
Nice little drop here, coming off a tree root into a bit of a rut. We ate that.
There was lots of shaly rock. It was really tight and narrow. There were some really constricted bits where we had to drive through trees.
Whoa, 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 hiking.
Quite rocky in here, a little bit ruddy. A couple of branches in the way.
Holy moly. We've got enough power to do it, it's just if we get hung up. Oh, jeez, there goes the phone. Oh, easy. God, this surprises me.
Really challenging, a lot of fun, and all the cars made it up that one unscathed and without having to get any external assistance, which was nice.
Oh, you take the blockers off, right? Jesus. Jesus.
So Jackie and Brian, tell us about what you're driving today.
So our VDJ's had a bit of an engine uplift. As you may be aware, she lost power pretty much since she did a turbo back at 16,000 K. She's now had a tune, a G Turbo Red and new exhaust system and running 70% injectors. So we're now running 240 kilowatts roughly at the rear wheel and 900 newton meters of torque.
So following the long, slippery ascent, we headed up to the next track, which was a short little one, but a steep one, and again, full of washouts, and the washouts just provide ample opportunity for a wheel to drop.
Simon drove up at first. The Iveco slipped into a really deep hole, had some amazing angles going on. The 360 gearbox truck managed to avoid the hole that Simon went to first, and then found the hole straight after that.
Damn! Have we broken something? Jeez, we're going to go over.
Tim from Landcruiser tackled the harder section that I was fortunate enough to go around, and same deal, he found all the big holes and the GU was able to flex through that, and again with some great driving, Tim got up in one go and we all continued on. As has been the case all through this trip out today, we literally went around a couple more corners and found ourselves with another huge challenge.
Another ripper little hill climb, a few roots in there, a little bit chopped up, but nothing that's going to really challenge us today.
There was a selection of 3 tracks where obviously lots of people have been up different lines trying to find more challenge, some way of getting up the hill. So nice narrow track, a few bumps across it, plenty of tree roots coming up, so this could be interesting. Let go for a second there because I don't have diff locks, but then it found traction and we're on our way.
Wouldn't want to come up here with back problems, would you?
A little bit tight through these trees up here. In fact, Don't think I'm going to get through there.
Went straight up the hill, everybody made it up, even with my road-faring tyres.
And it's always good to hit these little sections where you know there's nowhere to go at the top and it's turning around and you're coming back down. It's always good to see those ones because you know there's a bit more fun than just climbing a hill and taking off over the other side. Hillside around here just offers that for us.
Yeah, that's it. You said it was the last one.
Really?
Did it? You said that on the two-way. It's the last one for today, guys.
Really?
Just kidding.
Oh, not cool.
Simon, always up for a challenge, decided that the hardest of the ways up was going to be the most challenging of the ways down.
A little bit of a steep section here going downhill. Soft clay. She just tears away, so it's got some nice little ruts in it. We're going to drop into one on the left.
Watch Simon go down, watch the truck go almost vertical.
Any sort of a drop-off coming up. That's steep.
Holy moly. That looked scary. I think we'll wait for you to spot us.
You don't need a spot for that.
He goes, no, you don't need spotting for this one. I'm like, okay. Look at the drop.
Good drive, Brian.
Good drive, Dale.
The hill was that steep you literally could not see where you're pointing the truck. Managed to straddle the ruts. Very gingerly crept the front wheels over, just let the car find its own levels.
Oh, nice.
The Triton's not set up with side steps or anything like that. We rode the chassis rails down, the back wheels got some grip, the front wheels hit the ground again, and then continued the rest of the way down the hill. Much appreciated spotting help from Simon there.
The climb up was great, but to turn around and come back down where you really feel your body push into the seatbelt, it just gives a real sense of how steep these tracks are. What's even more amazing is the cars, the vehicles, how they actually handle these steep tracks, how they just keep that traction and you just crawl down them.
Don't hit the GoPro sitting there. Okay? See it?
The car does all the work. In an area like this where you do get a lot of rain, a lot of steep hills, you're always going to get those washouts.
Watch that first one. Might see if I can drop in it.
You got hung up all right.
I'm gonna need a few diff locks, I reckon.
Simon, he threw the Iveco in the rut and it wasn't able to gain the traction he really would have liked.
Yeah, she's a fair old angle. Let's drive out of it. Oh.
He was still able to get a really good lift.
That was wicked.
So back and forth, and lo and behold, we got out of it.
Following him, 360 did the same thing. They hit the rut just as hard.
Jeez. Holy. Oh my God.
And they dropped that rear left wheel into one of the deep ruts. Of course, just lost all traction at that point.
And we literally just went plunk. Might need some help here, Simon.
You're not even on a scary angle yet.
Well, I'm not waiting till I am. I'm out of here. Your wheel was in this deep, like there was no way you were going to get out.
No, you did take photos.
I'm sure he just does that to kick me out of the car.
It was my turn to go up. I got sort of halfway up the track, was wondering how I was going to get around that. I'm thinking I'm going to have to make some split-second decisions here and some really precise driving to try and avoid all those holes. Luckily, there was a chicken track off to the right, so I took that.
And I was just keen to get those wheels in the rut and see what the car could do. It just seemed to crawl up nicely. Going up again, it's one of those tracks you're looking at from a distance. It looks worse than it is. And up I went. Once you're going up, you get to the top and you think, what was the fuss about? Show us a real track, you know?
So easy.
I'm waiting for the hard bit.
Tim, talking about swags, it's pretty interesting. Last night you came into camp and showed us a little bit of a neat trick with the swag zips.
Yeah, that's it, Simon. Lanolin, one of the most versatile products in the world. While we're out here with the full drive PV crew, we're specifically looking at how the product can help with full drive preventative maintenance. The product has so many uses, and one of those in particular is zips around the campsite. You've got them on your cart, your tents, your swags. Keeps them corrosion free, stops them from seizing up when you want them not to. It's really quite easy with a bit of Lanotec general purpose. Typically people will use a lot of the product, thinking more is better. Lanolin is one of those products out there where less is better.
After we completed the drop-off, we came back to camp, had some lunch. Hey Brian, you guys right for chairs?
I can't hear Tim at all.
So we bought a couple of the new Cozzy swags for the guys to give a go while we're out camping. We had the new Cozzy Alpine, which is a 3-pole half top opening swag, and we had the Cozzy Outback swag, which is a ridge pole swag with huge side opening doors. It keeps you nice and warm, it keeps all the air trapped inside, it's nice and easy to get in and out of with the top opening entry point. The Cozzy range is designed to be an entry-level swag, so it's a great opportunity for someone to get a really high-quality Darchie swag, great quality gear without breaking the budget. Packed up from lunch, headed around the corner, and there was one of the steepest tracks I've ever seen.
This is possibly the steepest climb I've ever attempted in the Iveco. She's rocky, rutted, and extremely narrow. This could be disaster. Let's see how we go. She's steep, all right, holy hell.
Simon got halfway up the hill and then had to reverse back because he stalled.
Keep it nice and straight. Attempt number 2. Woo! That was super steep.
We watched the 360 gearboxes truck go up.
All right, let's go, bring it up.
Oh, okay, I'm hanging on. Jeez, that is wicked steep. As you're going up, you're like, oh my gosh, I've got to see my chiropractor. You're hanging on for dear life. But once you're up, it's always easy. Once you get to the top, you think, easy peasy. Oh, master driving, Brian. Master driving.
I had a feeling Simon was just waiting for me to get stuck, and he almost had the Iveco ready to pull me out, but I wasn't having it. That's steep, isn't it? Thought I'd drive it hard, drive it up, and up we came. So, yeah, it was great.
Simon, after he got out and stood at the top, and he goes, man, that is one steep hill. And once he said that, Steve's like, no.
Yeah, look, I'm always up for a bit of a challenge, but sometimes you've got to know your limitations too. I reckon I would have got about 3/4 of the way up, and that would have been me done, and then we would have been winching the rest of the way. So I'll just walk up it instead, enjoy the view, and come back down, and we'll continue on our trip.
Darchie just didn't really want to attempt. He blamed the tyres, which, fair enough, fair call. And it's a Triton, but what do you do? We decided to head back to camp because obviously right here, you know, on the doorstep of camp, there's a lot of great tracks and a lot of steep tracks.
Pete Taylor from RoadSafe tried to go up that left side and failed.
Wow, that side's slippery.
So Tim from Lanotec thought, I'll give that a crack.
Lined ourselves up to hit it, and it was a steep, awkward track with just the way it sort of tapered off and angled with the rut crossing at a weird angle. And right near the top where I had to sort of bounce my way through the rut, I heard a clank. Knew something was wrong, and I thought if I don't keep pushing now, I'll be stuck here on this angle. So I just gave it crap to really get up there at that point. So got to the top, had a bit of a look around and discovered that I'd snapped the hub. Yeah, it's not the first time I've done a hub and it won't be the last. So certainly if you want anything to snap, that's one of the best, cheapest things to snap. It's just one more thing to the list. I had to sort of crawl down in two-wheel drive, but it was good to at least know I'd done the track. I've got one over Pete. He lives down the road from me, so I'll be sure to let him know. So it was great to get out another trip and prove the vehicles, the 4Drive TV and the crew.